Okay, good morning and welcome everybody. We're going to begin the final part of the Parasha. So we've been reading one chapter on Monday, one chapter on Wednesday, and then today we have actually 3 chapters. I know it's a little bit longer today, but it's really worth it. The last chapter is about the binding of Isaac, and that is really, really good. Let me. Oh, now I'm going to have to switch that around. Okay, so we're going to say the prayer. Hi, Noe.
Oh, it's not.
Sorry. Okay. And then let's.
I don't know how to mute myself.
Okay, now we're going to do the blessing for the parasha, and then we will begin. Okay. So, like I said, I'm really looking forward to this parasha. It's really interesting. All right. So we ask our Heavenly Father to be with us, help us, and give us wisdom, insight, and direction for this study. Baruch atah Yahweh Hamarak, Baruch atah Yahweh Hamarak le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Yahweh Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bahar banu mikol hamim, v'natan lanu et Torato, Baruch atah Yahweh noten haTorah. Amen. Okay. Here we go. So we're on Bereshit, chapter 20. And let's hear that here.
Wait, stop.
Okay. And Abraham set out from there to the land of the south, and dwelt between Kadesh and Shur, and stayed in Gerar. And Abraham said concerning Sarah his wife, she is my sister. And Abimelech, sovereign of Gerar, sent and took Sarah. Okay. I'm doing 2 verses at a time so we can get through it.
ויצא משם אברהם ארצה הנגב, וישב בין קדש ובין שור, ויגור בגרר. ויאמר אברהם אל שרה אשתו, אחותי היא. וישלח אבימלך מלך גרר, ויקח את שרה. ויבוא אלוהים אל אבימלך בחלום הלילה, ויאמר לו, הנך מת על האישה אשר לקחת, והיא בעולת בעל. ואבימלך.
Okay. All right. But Elohim came to Abimelech in a dream by night and said to him, See, you are a dead man because of the woman whom you have taken, for she is a man's wife. But Abimelech had not come near her and said, Yahweh, would you slay a righteous nation also?
ויצא משם אברהם ארצה הנגב, וישב בין קדש ובין שור, ויגור בגרר. ויאמר אברהם אל שרה אשתו, אחותי. וישלח אבימלך מלך גרר, ויקח את שרה. ויבוא אלוהים אל אבימלך בחלום הלילה, ויאמר לו, לחמא על האישה אשר לקחת, והיא בעולת בעל. ואבימלך לא קרב אליה, ויאמר, אדוני, הגוי גם צדיק טהרו? הלא הוא אמר לי אחותי היא, והיא גם היא אמרה אחי הוא, בתום לבבי ובניקיון כפיי עשיתי זאת. ויאמר אליו האלוהים בחלום, גם אנוכי ידעתי, כי בתום לבבך עשית זאת, ואחסוך גם אנוכי אותך מחתולי. על כן לא נתתיך לנגוע אליה.
Okay. 5 and 6. Oh. Did he not say to me, she is my sister? And she, even she herself said, he is my brother? In the integrity of my heart and in the innocence of my hands, I have done this. And Elohim said to him in a dream, Yea, I know that you did this in the integrity of your heart. And so I have kept you from sinning against me. For this reason, I did not let you touch her. And now, return the man's wife, for he is a prophet, and let him pray for you, and you live. But if you do not return her, know that you shall certainly die, and you and all that are yours. So one of the interesting things here is that he called him a prophet. So he called him I'm looking for the word Navi. Ki Navi. Who? That means so he is a prophet. Okay, let's continue. I'm going to try to...
Something interesting that I wanted to say is that Abimelech is a title, and this is not the same Abimelech that is mentioned before. And there is controversy in regards to Sarah being taken before or this time. And it's clear that she was not taken because there is a custom in the Middle East that before a bride is taken, she goes through a process. So she is not taken yet, as a woman, but just like being prepared to be a wife. So in this case, Abba Yahweh was protecting Abraham because he made a covenant with him, and he couldn't allow the woman that is carrying the seed of Mashiach to be taken, and he needed to keep that seed pure.
Okay. And now you should be able to see on the screen where we have the Hebrew transliteration so you can follow along. And we're about to hear verse 7 in Hebrew. Oh, sorry. I think this thing returned to the beginning.
אברהם אל שרה אשתו, אחותי. וישלח אבימלך מלך גרר ויקח את שרה. ויבוא
Let me move this up a little bit.
ואבימלך לא קרב אליה, ויאמר, אדוני, הגוי גם צדיק טהרו? הלא הוא אמר לי אחותי היא, והיא גם היא אמרה אחי הוא, בתום לבבי ובניקיון כפיי עשיתי זאת. ויאמר אליו האלוהים בחלום, גם אנוכי ידעתי, כי בתום לבבך עשית זאת, ואחסוך גם אנוכי אותך מחתולי. על כן לא נתתיך לנגוע אליה. ועתה אשב אשת האיש כי נביא הוא, ויתפלל בעדך וחיה. ואם אינך משיב, דע כי מות תמות, אתה וכל אשר לך. וישכם אבימלך בבוקר, ויקרא לכל עבדיו, וידבר את כל הדברים האלה באוזניהם, ויראו האנשים מאוד. ויקרא.
Okay. Verse 8. Abimelech rose early in the morning and called all his servants and spoke all these words in their hearing, and the men were greatly frightened.
אבימלך לאברהם ויאמר לו, מה עשית לנו ומחטאתי לך, כי הבאת עלי ועל ממלכתי חטאה גדולה, מעשים אשר לא יעשו עשית עמדי. ויאמר אבימלך אל אברהם.
Okay. Okay. Verse 9. And Abimelech called Abraham and said to him, what have you done to us? In what have I sinned against you that you have brought on me and my reign a great sin? You have done matters to me that should not be done.
אבימלך לאברהם ויאמר לו, מה עשית לנו ומחטאתי לך, כי הבאת עלי ועל ממלכתי חטאה גדולה, מעשים אשר לא יעשו עשית עמדי. ויאמר אבימלך אל אברהם, מה ראית כי עשית את הדבר הזה? ויאמר אברהם, כי אמרתי רק אין יראת אלוהים במקום הזה, והרגוני על דבר אשתי. וגם אומנה אחותי בת אבי, אך לא בת אמי, ותהי לי לאישה. ויהי כאשר.
Okay, sorry, that was up to verse 12. Okay. And Abimelech said to Abraham, what have you done? What did you have in view that you have done this matter? And Abraham said, only because I said to myself, the fear of Elohim is not in this place, and they shall kill me for the sake of my wife. And yet she is truly my sister. She is the daughter of my father, but not the daughter of my mother, and she became my wife. Okay, verse 13.
הטעו אותי אלוהים מבית אבי, ואומר לך, זה חסדך אשר תעשי עמדי, אל כל המקום אשר נבוא שמה, אמרי לי אחי הוא. ויקח אבימלך צאן ובקר ועבדים ושפחות, וייתן לאברהם, וישב לו את שרה אשתו.
Okay, and that was up to 14. And it came to be when Elohim caused me to wander from my father's house, that I said to her, this is your kindness that you should do for me. And every place, wherever we go, say of me, he is my brother. Then Abimelech took sheep and cattle and male and servants and gave them to Abraham, and he returned Sarah his wife to him. Okay.
ויאמר אבימלך, הנה ארצי לפניך, בטוב בעיניך שב. ולשרה אמר, הנה נתתי 1,000 כסף לאחיך, הנה הוא לך כסות עיניים, לכל אשר איתך, ואת כל לנוכחת. ויתפלל אברהם אל האלוהים, וירפא אלוהים את אבימלך ואת אשתו ואמהותיו, וילדו. כי עצור עצר אדוני בעד כל רחם לבית אבימלך, על דבר שרה אשת אברהם.
Okay. We were on. Then Abimelech took sheep and cattle and male and female servants, and gave them to Abraham, and he returned Sarah his wife to him. And Abimelech said, See, my land is before you. Dwell wherever it is good in your eyes. And to Sarah he said, See, I have given your brother 1,000 pieces of silver. See, it is to you a covering of eyes before all who are with you, and before all others, and you are cleared before everyone. And Abraham prayed to Elohim, and Elohim healed Abimelech and his wife and his female servant, so they bore children. For Yahweh had closed up all the wombs of the house of Abimelech because of Sarah, Abraham's wife. Okay, so now let's go to the next chapter. Okay. We're going to go to chapter 21. Why is this? Okay. Okay. And then let's open the audio for that. Okay. Yeah, and the next.
Parasha Vayeira, פרק כ"ג.
Nope. Sorry,
ויהיו חיי שרה 100 שנה ו20 שנה
that was wrong one.
פרק כ"א. ואדוני פקד את שרה כאשר אמר, ויעש אדוני לשרה כאשר דיבר. ותהר ותלד שרה לאברהם בן לזקוניו, למועד אשר דיבר אותו אלוהים.
And Yahweh visited Sarah as he had said, and Yahweh did for Sarah as he had spoken. So Sarah conceived and bore Abraham a son in his old age, at the appointed time of which Elohim had spoken to him.
ויקרא אברהם את שם בנו הנולד לו, אשר ילדה לו שרה, יצחק. וימול אברהם את יצחק בנו בן 8 ימים, כאשר ציווה אותו אלוהים.
Okay. And Abraham called the name of his son, who was born to him, whom Sarah bore to him, Yitzhak. And Abraham circumcised his son Yitzhak when he was 8 days old, as Elohim had commanded him. And okay, I was looking for the word. The word circumcised in Hebrew is the yamal in this case. So you can see that yamal right there. Okay, continuing.
ואברהם בן 100 שנה בהיוולד לו את יצחק בנו. ותאמר שרה, צחוק עשה לי אלוהים, כל השומע יצחק לי.
Okay, and Abraham was 100 years old when his son Yitzhak was born to him, and Sarah said, Elohim has made me laugh, and everyone who hears of it laughs with me.
ותאמר, מי מילא לאברהם, העניקה בנים שרה, כי ילדתי בן לזקוניו. ויגדל הילד ויגמל. ויעש אברהם משתה גדול ביום היגמל את יצחק.
Okay, and verse 7. And she said, Who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? For I have borne him a son in his old age. And the child grew and was weaned, and Abraham made a great feast on the day that Yitzhak was weaned.
ותרא שרה את בן הגר המצרית אשר ילדה לאברהם, מצחק. ותאמר לאברהם, גרש האמה הזאת ואת בנה, כי לא ירש בן האמה הזאת עם בני, עם יצחק.
Okay. And the child, okay. And Therathal, verse 9, and Therathal, the son of Hagar, the Mitzrite, whom she had born to Abraham, mocking. That's the same word as Yitzhak, the same root. Okay. Yitzhak, mocking. So she said to Abraham, drive out this female servant and her son, for the son of the female servant shall not inherit with my son Yitzhak. And also interesting, right there, the word for drive out is has a lot of different meanings. Let me see if I can show you on the screen. So cast out is garash, and here is the meaning of it. Oh, no, that's the next one. Sorry, this one. Okay. Garage, it means drive out, expel, cast out, drive away, and divorce, put away, thrust out, trouble, and cast up. So it has a lot of different meanings possible. She was trying to tell him maybe like to even divorce her or completely separate from her, right? Okay, and then the word, I also wanted to point out the word where it says, and Sarah saw. So they don't use the same word. Here they use tere, vatere. Okay, and that word tere, that means that she sees, it has more meaning. It means like she discerned. Okay, it means to see, to look, to inspect, perceive, and consider. So it's like a more profound way of like looking and seeing. It's not just like that she saw something. It's like that she perceived and she discerned something. Okay, let's continue with the audio. Here we go.
וירע הדבר מאוד בעיני אברהם על אודות בנו. ויאמר אלוהים אל אברהם, אל ירע בעיניך על הנער ועל אמתך. כל אשר תאמר אליך שרה, שמע בקולה. כי ביצחק יקרא לך זרע.
Okay, I don't know if you guys heard the word Shema right there. Okay, let's see. And the matter was evil in the eyes of Abraham because of his son. But Elohim said to Abraham, let it not be evil in your eyes because of the boy and because of your female servant. Whatever Sarah has said to you, listen to her voice, for in Yitzhak your seed is called. So when he told them to listen to Sarah, he's saying Shema. Oh, and another translation for it is hearken. Hearken. Continue.
וגם את בן האמה לגוי אשימנו, כי זרעך הוא. וישכם אברהם בבוקר, ויקח לחם וחימת מים, ויתן אל הגר שם על שכמה, ואת הילד, וישלחיה. ותלך ותטע במדבר באר שבע.
Okay. And the son of the female servant I also make a nation because he is your seed. And Abraham rose early in the morning and took bread and a skin of water which he gave to Hagar, putting it on her shoulder, also the boy, and sent her away. And she left and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. So I like that it mentions that he got up early in the morning. That's why I'm always trying to schedule things for early morning. Because when Abraham had to do something important, he did it early in the morning. So, and we'll see that again. Okay, and let's continue. Verse 15.
ויכלו המים מן החמת, ותשלך את הילד תחת אחד השיחים. ותלך ותשב לך מנגד, הרחק כמתחבי קשת, כי אמרה, אל אראה במות הילד. ותשב מנגד, ותישא את קולך ותבק.
Okay. And the water in the skin was used up, and she placed the boy under one of the shrubs. And she went and sat down about a bow shot away, for she said, let me not see the death of the boy. And she sat opposite him and lifted her voice and wept. And Elohim heard the voice of the boy. And the messenger of Elohim called to Hagar from the heavens and said to her, "What is the matter with you, Hagar? Do not fear, for Elohim has heard the voice of the boy where he is." So we've mentioned before how Yahweh hears Ishmael, not necessarily Hagar cry. Okay, and continue.
וישמע אלוהים את קול הנער, ויקרא מלאך אלוהים אל הגר מן השמיים, ויאמר לה, מלאך הגר, אל תראי, כי שמע אלוהים אל קול הנער באשר הוא שם. קומי שאי את הנער, והחזיקי את ידך בו, כי לגוי גדול אשימנו.
Okay, sorry, I jumped ahead a little bit. So that was verse 17 and 18. Arise, lift up the boy and hold him with your hand, for I make a great nation of him. Okay, verse 19.
ויפקח אלוהים את עיניה, ותרא באר מים, ותלך ותמלא את החמת מים, ותשק את הנער. ויהי אלוהים את הנער ויגדל, וישב במדבר, ויהי רובה קשת.
Okay. And Elohim opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water, and she went and filled the skin with water, and gave the boy a drink. And Elohim was with the boy, and he grew and dwelt in the wilderness, and became an archer.
וישב במדבר פרן, ותיקח לו עמו אישה מארץ מצרים. ויהי בעת ההיא, ויאמר אבימלך ופיכל שר צבאו אל אברהם לאמור, אלוהים עמך בכל אשר אתה עושה.
And he dwelt in the wilderness of Paran, and his mother took a wife for him from the land of Mizraim. And it came to be at that time that Abimelech and Pichol, the commander of his army, spoke to Abraham, saying, Elohim is with you in all you do.
ועתה ישבע לי ואלוהים הנה, אם תשקור לי ולניני ולנכדי, כחסד אשר עשיתי עמך, תעשה עמדי, ועם הארץ אשר גרת בה.
Okay. And now swear to me by Elohim, not to be untrue to me, to my offspring or to my descendants. Do to me according to the kindness that I have done to you, and to the land in which you have dwelt.
ויאמר אברהם, אנוכי ישבע. והוכיח אברהם את אבימלך על אודות באר המים אשר גזלו עבדי אבימלך. ויאמר אבימלך.
Okay. And Abraham said, I swear. And Abraham reproved Abimelech because of a well of water which Abimelech's servant had seized.
מלך, לא ידעתי מי עשה את הדבר הזה, וגם אתה לא הגדת לי, וגם אנוכי לא שמעתי בלתי היום. ויקח אברהם צאן ובקר, וייתן לאבימלך, ויכרתו שניהם ברית.
Okay. And Abimelech said, I do not know who has done this deed, neither did you inform me, nor did I hear until today. So Abraham took sheep and cattle and gave them to Abimelech, and the two of them made a covenant. Good morning. Hi. Good morning. Okay, so we see her making a covenant with Abimelech and the well. And the problem with the well. All right, let's continue. We're on 28.
ויצב אברהם את 7 כבשות הצאן לבדיהן. ויאמר אבימלך אל אברהם, מה הנה 7 כבשות האלה אשר הצבת לבדנה? ויאמר.
Okay. And Abraham set 7 ewe lambs of the flock by themselves, and Abimelech asked Abraham, what are these 7 ewe lambs which you have set by themselves?
כי את 7 כבשות תיקח מידי, בעבור תהיה לי לעדה, כי חפרתי את הבאר הזאת. על כן קרא למקום ההוא באר שבע, כי שם נשבעו שניהם.
Okay. 30 and 31. And he said, "Take these 7 ewe lambs from my hand to be my witness that I have dug this well." So he called the place Beersheba because the two of them swore an oath there.
ויכרתו ברית בבאר שבע. ויקום אבימלך ופיכל שר צבאו, וישובו אל ארץ פלישתים. ויטע אשל בבאר שבע, ויקרא שם בשם אדוני אל עולם.
That was 3 verses. Okay. Thus they made a covenant at Beersheba, and Abimelech rose with Pichol, the commander of his army, and they returned to the land of the Philistines. And he planted a tamarisk tree in Beersheba, and they're called in the name of Yahweh, the everlasting El. And Abraham sojourned in the land of the Philistines many days. So I'm thinking that there is like a significance in the ancient Eastern culture with a covenant and with planting trees. So I think that's one thing we want to be careful about, for not planting trees in Christmas, which means you're making a covenant with the fertility goddess and things like that. So I think it has significance in that culture, and we want to be careful not to misuse it and do it with the wrong
time.
wrong context. Yeah. And okay, let's finish. We're on like the last verse of the chapter.
ויגור אברהם בארץ פלישתים ימים רבים.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. And Abraham sojourned in the land of the Philistines many days. Okay. Many days. Good. All right. So now we're getting to chapter 22, which is an awesome chapter because it has the part with Isaac, the binding of Isaac, where Abraham is tested and said if he's going to offer his son. So let's hear that. That's really interesting. And let me just get the audio going.
פרק כ"ב. ויהי אחר הדברים האלה.
Hang on. Before we start, let me get the right page on here. Okay, here we go. Let me back up a little bit.
ויהי אחר הדברים האלה, והאלוהים נישא את אברהם. ויאמר אליו, אברהם, ויאמר, הנני. ויאמר, קח נא את בנך, את יחידך, אשר אהבת, את יצחק, ולך לך אל ארץ המוריה, והעלהו שם לעולה, על אחד ההרים אשר אומר אליך. וישכם אברהם בבוקר, ויחבוש את חמור.
So let's hear the first 2. And it came to be after these events that Elohim tried Abraham and said to him, Abraham, and he said, here I am. If you heard in the Hebrew, it was Hineni. Okay, Hineni. And he said, take your son now, your only son Yitzhak, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah, and offer him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains which I command you. So now, one of the things that you don't really get in the translation of the English is that here, where it says, take now your son, he's actually saying, please take your son, not like an
order.
demand, yeah. But let me see. Okay, right, he said, take now. Oh, here it is now. I pray, please now take your son. So he's saying, asking a request, not demanding the way it normally sounds. Okay, so let's continue. And you saw the Hineni.
אברהם בבוקר, ויחבוש את חמורו, ויקח את שני נעריו איתו, ואת יצחק בנו. ויבקע עצי עולה, ויקום וילך אל המקום אשר אמר לו האלוהים. ביום השלישי, וישא אברהם את עיניו, וירא את המקום מרחוק. ויאמר אברהם אל נעריו.
Okay. And Abraham rose early in the morning and saddled his donkey and took 2 of his young men with him and Yitzhak his son, and he split the wood for the burnt offering and arose and went to the place which Elohim had commanded him. And on the 3rd day, Abraham lifted his eyes and saw the place from a distance. Okay, so there we have again early in the morning. And also we're going to see some interesting parallels between Yitzhak and Yeshua. And one of them is here, the 3 days. Right? You have someone that is basically, Yitzhak is basically, I don't know if the word is condemned, but he's like a dead man, kind of, because he's going to be offered, right? And he goes for 3 days walking. They're walking for 3 days
Carrying the
or
woods.
traveling. Yeah, that's going to come up right now.
What chapter are you in right now?
Sorry, chapter 22.
22. Okay.
Chapter 22, and we're about to hear verse 5.
Hold on one moment, please.
Okay.
Okay. I'm trying to follow along with the transliteration, and
I
this
know.
one, for some reason, it has the chapters, and I know you click on the chapter and it sends you somewhere else. I don't know why. I found it though. Okay.
Oh, okay. That's weird. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to start on verse 5. There we go.
וירא את המקום מרחוק. ויאמר אברהם אל נעריו, שבו לכם פה עם החמור, ואני והנער נלכה עד כה, ונשתחווה ונשובה עליכם. ויקח אברהם את עצי העולה, וישם על יצחק בנו, ויקח בידו את האש ואת המאכלת, וילכו שניהם יחדיו.
Okay. So Abraham said to his young men, "Stay here with the donkey while the boy and I go over there and worship and come back to you." And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it on Yitzhak his son. And he took the fire in his hand and a knife, and the 2 of them went together. So there, how my mom was mentioning the parallel.
Yes, another parallel is that he's carrying the wood, just as Yeshua was carrying the tree.
And we should also point out, I mean, we've said it before, but we should also point out that Yitzhak wasn't really like a child here. He was grown up.
It's believed to be like less than 40 years old.
Mhm. Okay.
You're in chapter 23?
22. Did you find it? 22?
Yeah, this is really weird. Where can I go to see what you're seeing?
It's
QBible?
qbible.com, but you have it in the, I should have put it in the thing of the video. You have it in your email too.
Oh,
I sent you guys the link in your email.
okay.
Okay.
And it takes us straight to where you're at.
It might take you to the first chapter, and then you just click on the bottom arrow, then you go to the next chapter.
Okay.
Let's go on. Okay, so we have the wood. Yitzhak is carrying the wood the way Yeshua carried the wood also, or carried his stake. Okay, verse 7.
ויאמר יצחק אל אברהם אביו, ויאמר אבי, ויאמר הנני בני, ויאמר הנה האש והעצים, ואייהסה לעולה. ויאמר אברהם, אלוהים יראה לו הסה לעולה בני, וילכו שניהם יחדיו.
Okay, so here let's see. And Yitzhak spoke to Abraham his father and said, "My father." And he said, "Here I am, my son." And he said, see, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering? And Abraham said, my son, Elohim does provide for himself the lamb for a burnt offering. And the two of them went together. So I really like this part about they went together, if you can see. Let me see. Oh, also, when Yitzhak, okay, they went together. You can see here in verse 26. So the two, like twofold, and they went united. They went as a unit, they went unitedly. I think that's really nice that they were walking, together, but also I think in their ruach, they were united in their intention, that in their faith. And I think Yitzhak knew that it was the test for him as well, and was willing to go through it and pass the test. Let's see. And then he said, when he called Abraham, his father said, Hineni, again, right here, Hineni. The same way that when Yahweh called him, he said Hineni, it's the same word here, Hineni. And then he said, where is the lamb? Haseh. Oh, that's where is it? Here it is, Haseh. Right, so where is the lamb for the burnt offering? For the Olah? Olah, there is the offering. Okay. And Abraham says, Elohim will provide for himself the lamb for the offering. That's Haseh Leolah. The lamb for the offering. And then again, it says the same thing. And they went, the two of them, twofold, they went together. They went united as a unit. They continued on.
When we are together as a unit, when we purpose something and we are really together in one language, one accord, very good things happen all the time.
All right, let's hear verse 9. And let's continue.
וילכו שניהם יחדיו. ויבואו אל המקום אשר אמר לו האלוהים. ויבן שם אברהם את המזבח, ויערוך את העצים, ויעקוד את יצחק בנו, וישם אותו על המזבח ממעל לעצים. וישלח אברהם את ידו ויקח את המאכלת, לשפוט את שנו. ויקרא אליו מלאך.
Okay. And they came to the place which Elohim had commanded him, and Abraham built an altar there and placed the wood in order, and he bound Yitzhak his son and laid him on the altar upon the wood. And Abraham stretched out his hand and took the knife to slay his son. Okay, so again we have the word here for altar. And Abraham, it's mizbeach. Mizbeach is the word for altar there. Okay, and let's continue. Back this up a little bit.
קרא אליו מלאך אדוני מן השמיים ויאמר אברהם אברהם ויאמר הנני ויאמר אל תשלח ידך אל הנער ואל תעשי מאומה כי עתה ידעתי כי ירא אלוהים אתה.
Cuando me fui nomás había una casa en la esquina. Esa, la otra ya la terminaron.
We can. Do you guys want to mute the camera just so we don't have the background noise? I mean, if everyone wants to comment, they're free to comment too. Okay. All right, let's see. And Abraham. Okay,
So
but the messenger. Yes, tell me. Go ahead.
Are you reading? I'm really trying to follow, and I'm having a really hard time following.
Really?
The reading, yeah, and the transliteration. It's like I haven't been able to do one line. I don't know where you are.
Yeah, we're doing 2 verses in Hebrew and then 2 verses in English. So we are right here on verse 11. We heard this. We're going to read it in English. Where it says, and the angel.
I thought you said verse 9.
We heard. No, we already heard verse 9. We're past it.
Okay.
Sorry.
So you're gonna read what next? You're gonna read
We're gonna
11
read
or
in
12?
we're gonna read in English, verse 11 and 12, and then we'll hear in Hebrew, verse 13 and 14.
Okay.
I'm trying to follow with the mouse so you guys can kind of see, but I try not to do
And
it too
then
much because every time I go over the mouse with the mouse, all these little
and then
boxes come up.
the transliteration reads from right to left. I mean from left to right.
Yes, yes, you're
Okay.
reading the translation the way you're reading the English.
Right. Okay.
So verse 11 in Hebrew says, "But the messenger of Yahweh," right, and it says right here, Malak Yahweh. You can see that right there. Malak Yahweh. And the messenger of Yahweh called to him from the heavens and said, "Abraham, Abraham." And he said, "Here I am." So he said he named
O
him.
sea, vas a la oficina y nada más es por el
And he said,
teléfono,
"Do
¿verdad?
not lay your hand on the boy, nor touch him. For now I know,
Annabelle,
No me acuerdo dónde vi.
that you
can
fear
I?
Elohim."
Llegas y ya
I can't hear.
tienes que agarrar el teléfono y no tienes que...
Es que aquí en Nevada no hay
Okay.
departamento de desempleo.
Annabelle,
I'm sorry.
I think
can you mute the phone because we can't hear anything?
Oh, I thought
there you go. Okay,
There
that's
you go. Okay.
Thank you, Mija.
it. Called to him from the heavens and said, "Abraham, Abraham." And he said, "Here I am." And he said, "Do not lay your hand on the boy, nor touch him. For now I know that you fear Elohim, seeing you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me." All right, now we're going to listen to 13 and 14 in Hebrew, okay? So
Okay.
you're ready? It's going to be right about there.
וישא אברהם את עיניו, וירא והנה איל, אחר נאחז בסבך בקרניו. וילך אברהם, ויקח את האיל, ויעלהו לעולה תחת בנו. ויקרא אברהם שם המקום ההוא, אדוני יראה, אשר יאמר היום בהר אדוני יראה.
Okay. I was able to follow at that time.
Yeah, it's a little fast, but we're getting our ears trained for it. And Abraham lifted his eyes and looked and saw behind him a ram caught in a bush by its horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered it up for a burnt offering instead of his son. And Elohim called the name of the place Yahweh Yireh, as it is said on this day, on the mountain Yahweh provides. So what we've mentioned before is how Abraham said that Yahweh will provide for himself a lamb, but what is provided here is a ram, right? It has a different word. So that's why I always feel like when Abraham is saying Yahweh will provide for himself a lamb, that he's talking about Yeshua. He's talking about the Mashiach, because he is the Lamb of Yahweh. Here it's a foreshadowing, right? This is showing us what's going to happen, the role that Yeshua is going to play. So in the place of Isaac, what is given here is a ram, and it's called Ayil. Ayil. And there's the word right there. And behold, a ram. Okay, and you can see before we said the word for a lamb. Do you guys remember? We said Hazeh.
And a yield has the same connotation as
You got to say that louder again.
it. It has the same connotation as Elohim.
Yeah.
A yield.
Okay. And here is the word for lamb that they said before. Will provide for himself Hazeh, a lamb. So it's a little, you can see it's a little different. Okay. Ha'il.
Not just that, but Yeshua's tree, it became, in a way, an altar as well. It had all the elements of the altar, the bronze and the wood. So it's very interesting, the parallel, and also the thicket or the bush. It was translated as bush, but originally it says a thicket, which is like something similar to what Joshua was put like a crown mocking him on his head.
And okay, we're going to hear verse 15 and 16. Okay, in Hebrew, 15 and 16.
ויקרא מלאך אדוני אל אברהם שנית מן השמיים, ויאמר, בי נשבעתי נאום אדוני, כי יען אשר עשית את הדבר הזה, ולא חסכת את בנך את יחידך.
Okay.
Wow,
And the messenger.
that's super fast.
I know.
Are you trying to follow it on the transliteration, or are you trying to follow it on the actual Hebrew?
The actual Hebrew.
I'm doing the transliteration now, and then hopefully as I progress and I can look at the Hebrew. I was using a program called Audacity to slow it down, but it takes a while, so we'd be here a while to hear it. So, all right. So that was 15. And the messenger of Yahweh called to Abraham a second time from the heavens and said, by myself I have sworn, declared Yahweh, because you have done this and have not withheld your son, your only son. And then we kind of interrupted there. So we're going to hear verse 17 and 18.
יברך אברכך, והרבה הרבה את זרעך ככוכבי השמיים, וכחול אשר על שפת הים. וירש זרעך את שער אויביו,
18.
יברכו בזרעך כל גויי הארץ, עקב אשר שמעת בקולי.
Okay. That I shall certainly bless you, and I shall certainly increase your seed as the stars of the heavens, and as the sand which is on the seashore, and let your seed possess the gates of their enemies. And in your seed all the nations of the earth shall be blessed, because you have obeyed my voice. Okay. 19 and 20, unless somebody has a comment. We'll hear 19 and 20 in Hebrew.
Well, very interesting because Abba makes a covenant with Abraham, and it says that is with him and his seed, his children forever. And if you recall in the covenant, when they go between the parts of the animals that were slain, only Abba Yahweh went through the parts because Abraham, on purpose, I believed, he went to sleep, meaning that if Abraham, for some reason, or his seed will not do the part, they're part of the covenant, anyway, Abba will keep his promise and will keep his part. That's why it's important to remind Abba not only of the words given to Abraham, but the actual sacrifice that Yeshua made for us on that tree.
Okay. All right. So we're going to hear verse 19 and 20, and we're almost done with the chapter.
וישוב אברהם אל מעריו, ויקומו וילכו יחדיו אל באר שבע, וישב אברהם בבאר שבע. ויהי אחרי הדברים האלה, ויוגד לאברהם לאמור, הנה ילדה מילכה גם היא בנים לנחור אחיך.
Okay. Then Abraham returned to his young men, and they rose up and went together to Beersheba. And Abraham dwelt at Beersheba, and it came to be after these events that it was reported to Abraham, saying, see, Milcah too has borne children to your brother Nahor. Okay, and the next. So we are on 21.
לנחור אחיך. את עוץ בכורו, ואת בוז אחיו, ואת כמואל אבי ארם, ואת כסד, ואת חזו, ואת פלדש, ואת ידלף, ואת בתואל. ובתואל ילד את רבקה. שמונה אלה ילדה מילכה לנחור אחי אברהם. ופילגשו ושמח ראומה. ותלת גם היא את טבח, ואת גחם, ואת תחש, ואת מאחה.
Okay. So we just continued all the way to the bottom there. Okay. Ut, his firstborn, and Booth, his brother, and Kemuel, the father of Amram, and Kesed, and Hathol, and Pildash, and Yildalf, and Bethuel. And Bethuel brought forth Rivkah. So we heard her name there mentioned. These 8 Milcah bore to Nahor, Abraham's brother. And his concubine, whose name was Reumah, also bore Teba, and Gaam, and Tahash, and Ma'akah. And that is the end of the parasha. Do you guys have any comments? No? Let's say the blessing to close, and we'll be done. Baruch atah Yahweh Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chaya tam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Yahweh noten ha-Torah. Amen.
Do you have any comment?
Noé,
Do you have any comment?
No, I'm just trying to read, trying to see what I can
Well,
figure out. I'm trying to learn the reading.
to me, it's interesting how, in the same manner that Abraham entered into a covenant with our Heavenly Father, we also had entered into a covenant with Him, and we are in Joshua. And when we, for example, when we went through the immersion, it's the meaning of our death, the old self, the old person goes and it's buried, and the new person is resurrecting right there. And it's all very, very interesting how the parallels that we find between what Joshua came and did with Abraham. Actually, it is the fulfillment, because from the seed of Itzhak, it's that came the seed of a Mashiach.
Yeah. One thing, how you're talking about the covenant, one thing that we forgot to mention is what I think one of the reasons why Yahweh protected Sarah from in the first chapter with Abimelech is because Yahweh had a covenant with Abraham, right? So they had a covenant together, so he protected his family, right? It extended to protecting Sarah and his family.
And that is a covenant, protection. You know, if like, for example, the reason why he went and grabbed Lot from Sodom and Gomorrah is because he had a covenant with him. A covenant means protection. So that's why, you know, when we come into a covenant with our Creator, He protects us. Whatever, you know, whenever we are attacked, you know, it's like if Abba himself is attacked. That's why he says that it's like touching his very own eyes, you know, the pupil of his eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna say you guys have a good morning. Have a good day. Thank you for staying with us. I know it's a little longer today, but we did 3 chapters. So, okay. You guys have a blessed day. Shalom. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom. Have a blessed
Shalom.
day.
Love you.
We love you.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Shalom.
Shalom.